Hello YouTubers, 2016 Nissan Rogue, and we will replace the auxiliary transmission filter on this car. So let's get underneath. In one of the other videos we changed the transmission fluid, so check it out. And another thing that we didn't do, there is the filter, auxiliary filter. There is like a cartridge filter that goes into this housing. So we will change it today. Before we get it removed, let's take a look at the part. So this is how the filter looks like. So there is the O-ring that goes under the housing, and then we will put this cartridge in, and I will leave a link to the part in the description to the video. So next we will get those 4 10mm bolts removed. If you are not changing the fluid at this point, just a filter, it's probably a good idea to get a clean catch tray so you can measure how much fluid you lose, so you can refill it if you are changing everything. And even if you want to check your level, check my other video where I showed how to make a dipstick to measure the level. In that case, you can double check the level after you replace the filter. So at this point, I'll just remove those 4 bolts. Okay, so the first bolt I would recommend to start with is one on the top left. I will try to stick my camera there so you can see if it fits. So that one. And to get it loose, you won't be able to fit, there's too much light, to fit your ratchet with a long extension over here. So what I used 10mm swivel and socket, so that works well. And you can also, if you look from here, you can see the head of that nut just over there. So as soon as you get it loose, it's easy to remove the bolt, so you can use your fingers or still use the swivel. But the straight deep socket or shallow socket in the extension won't work, so you need a swivel to get it loose. So we'll remove that, we'll remove this, and then 2 from the bottom. So as soon as this gets loose, we will get some fluid coming out. I have 2 upper removed. So for this one, it's kind of also behind the bracket, so you need to use a wrench because the socket won't fit in there. So as soon as you get the last bolt loose, you will get a dump of transmission fluid, so be ready for that. So the housing is off, and you can see our filter over there. Just move the tray a bit, and we'll try to pull it out. And it's not too pretty. The fluid that I changed was really nice. It was nice, clear, and I guess that's the reason why, because the filter caught all the debris and shavings. So now we will pull that O-ring out, since we have a new one. So here's the housing, here's the old O-ring, new filter. So we'll put it back. I have wiped off the housing inside and where it touches the engine. I have placed the new filter in, just push it in, and place the new O-ring around. To get it stuck, just use some transmission oil. Now we can put the housing. When you put your housing back in, make sure that it's in this position. So you have this piece over here, it's pointing to the rear, the back of the vehicle, and this number M23 to the back. So this part goes down. Alright, so I got my 4 bolts tied. I don't know if it makes sense to talk about the torque. in general, M6 bolt in aluminum body, you're looking at 60 inch-pounds. But considering that you cannot get socket on this one and that one, I don't know if it makes much sense. 60 inch-pounds, it's barely anything. So don't over torque. Make them tight around the vehicle. See if there are any leaks. If there are, get them a bit tighter. But it's better to get them too loose than strip the thread. So don't put too much pressure. There is a rubber O-ring, so it should keep it sealed. But in general, it's supposed to be 60 inch-pounds. Okay, now let's check how much fluid have we lost. So I just measured how much we drained, and it's just around 100 ml. So we will put exactly the same amount in. And for the fluid, we use NS-3. That's what recommended for this vehicle. And I will leave a link in the description to the video. Right, so we have measured the same amount of fluid that we put in. Now we need to remove the fill cap, and that's what it is. And it can be a bit tricky to remove. You see the tongue inside that window? Let's try to show you. Basically, what you need to do, you need to go with the screwdriver and push it to the inside in order to disengage it from the metal piece. So here's the dipstick. So that plastic piece engages over here. So you need to go in between with the screwdriver and push it in and pull it out. So next, when the fluid is added, that 100 ml that we measured, I will get the vehicle started, warm it up to normal operating temperature, and we'll use the custom-made dipstick, which you can see how to make in the other video on the transmission fluid change, and we'll just measure the level to make sure that we are where we're supposed to be. To check the fluid, we need the vehicle to be running. The engine temperature should be at 90 normal operating temperature. Usually you can get it by running to like 15-20 minutes. Then you need a dipstick, as this car does not come with the one, so we already made one before for this car. So now also you need to shift your gears in reverse, neutral, low, any position you possibly can to make sure that the fluid has traveled to all the valves. So now we will just insert our custom-made dipstick and we'll check the level. Alright, I'm not sure if you will be able to see. I'll try to get, oh, here it is. So that upper mark is when the transmission is hot, it's full, and there is a just over here the lower mark. So this is the range, and it's quite close. So now we will get our cap back in, make sure that it locks in place, and that should be it for changing the auxiliary transmission filter. There is still one screen or strainer inside the transmission under the pan, which is a little bit more difficult to replace, but this is not a terrible job. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, do it yourself.